Good game!
Hello and welcome to Good Game. I'm Hex.
Hello, Marjorie.
Today on the show, we have a few games that require some strategy and a cunning plan.
Yes,
Yeah, I love cutting plans.
Out the window, as we see in the
Always reminds me of Baldric.
Ooh,
Ooh, Evolve.
Also this week, all the strategy in the world can't save the Roman Empire in the latest total war, Attila.
Not a big fan of that series, but
accesses
it
his
could be
RAM
good.
in a new memory cache.
But before all that, can you name the game for this week?
It looks like a classic version of FIFA, but it probably isn't.
What makes human human? What defines consciousness or the soul? What is our purpose?
If a tree falls in the woods, was it really a tree?
What?
Exactly. We ponder life in the Talos principle.
Anybody know what this game is? Because I don't know.
It's a mystery, a puzzle, because we've always been a species of problem solvers.
The Talos Principle is a first-person puzzle game that's been widely compared to Portal, although the more I played, the more differences I found.
But I think we can find differences behind us.
You are cast as the newly
Really gonna
activated
try and
humanoid robot, tasked by the
compare
disembodied
Portal to
voice
this
of
game.
Elohim with
Yeah,
collecting
it looks
sigils on your
first
path
person,
to
so I guess that
enlightenment.
makes
It is
sense.
your purpose to seek these sigils, for thus you will serve the generations to come and attain eternal life.
It starts out very serene, but also quite exciting. You're a new creation with an entire world made just for you, but cracks quickly begin to form.
Painted messages speak of doubt and mistrust. Your surroundings occasionally buzz and flicker like a hologram glitch. And the library system is filled with eerie existentialist messages. And most importantly, there's an ominous tower which you've been strictly instructed not to climb.
Yes, it's all very mysterious, isn't it? And I really liked the way that mystery unfurled. And can I just say, visually, this game is beautiful. Forests and gentle snowfall,
Actually doesn't
burning
look too
deserts,
bad, if graphic
and
standards.
castles. That cathedral is my favourite.
And the lens flare. Oh.
The game allows you to pick the order of puzzles with 3 hubs containing numbered doorways. Through the doors are smallish maps with a few puzzles. Complete them and you'll get a Tetronomo sigil, which gives you access to
The
later
Tetris block.
equipment.
There is much that you may learn in the halls of my temples, for there is much that you do not know.
I more or less played in order, but I found the difficulty was all over the place. I'd go from completing 3 or 4 puzzles easily first time, to spending half an hour on one, just pulling my hair out.
Yep, pick the right music track for that.
Only then to follow it up with a few more easy ones.
One could say that the existentialist questions are the real puzzles of the game.
No, it's the puzzles. The puzzles are right there.
Yeah, I agree. Still, something kept pulling me back in. I just get so irritated with a puzzle and walk away, only to come back in an hour desperate to finish it.
If this trial seems impossible to overcome, have no fear. Return
I'm trying to figure out whose voice that is.
may reveal itself.
I mean,
It
I'd
sounds
always
like
argue
some
that the lack
British
of
guy.
hand-holding kind
Probably
of
isn't some
mimics
British
the
guy.
idea of
Like, it
being
sounds like
in creation,
Zemnis, but it's not
exploring
Zemnis.
a new world and then just trying to find meaning in that.
Yeah, maybe. I still think it's a bit of a cop-out, though.
Yeah, I don't know, I think it adds context. And I like the character of the game, the fact that it's always reminding you that nothing you see around you is real. You're a robot, but you feel like a human. But what makes
That
us
robot
human?
looks like it's
Just that
iRobot.
human versus AI concept. I find that really interesting.
I
thing.
did enjoy arguing morals and consciousness
Don't
with the
remember his
library
name.
and channeling my inner robot. But dialogue options are ultimately limited and designed to make you contradict yourself by ignoring circumstances and grey areas. And then about 2/3 of the way through, I just stopped having fun with the puzzles. I think they became tedious and unfair. Like when I was up to the last door and then I accidentally stood in the way of a laser beam and it locked me out with all my tools on the other side. Unlike the last of 5 doors, never has a reset been so sad.
Oh, Bajo. Well, I had fun with those lasers, just trying to get all the angles just right. I think that was probably my favourite puzzle element.
Yeah, I like
Didn't they do
too.
that in
When I
Portal
was
though?
being
No wonder they
locked
said that was very
and part of
similar
my
to Portal.
frustration was just from impatience. I wanted to go up that tower. And the other part was because a lot of the solving just felt like busy work.
We are the story, and the story tells us who we are.
I quite like swirling away all the parts. And
Really? I'm trying to figure out who that is.
but you're right, after a while the solutions just got tired and were either too silly or too obvious. And some puzzles are essentially repeats, which makes it feel like they just ran out of ideas. And then sometimes it'd be something included like a fan that's completely irrelevant to solving the puzzle.
Apparently the game is full of Easter eggs, so maybe they're a part of that. They still felt like red herrings, though.
Yeah, well, overall I think they've been quite ambitious and unique with their approach, especially with regards to the story, which I definitely appreciated. I mean, sure, maybe the attempts at highbrow debate sometimes fell flat, but I thought it was great how they managed to weave in questions of humanism, purpose, faith, and existentialism. Plus, there were quite a few moments that I felt genuinely moved, and that's worth something, I think.
It's just a shame that the endings aren't that great. I've played through 2 out of 3 of them, and you just see them coming a mile off. So, unfortunately for me, this is predominantly a puzzle game, and the puzzles aren't that well polished, so that's a problem.
I disagree. I quite liked the puzzles, and I thought the themes were really innovative.
Well, I'm going to give it 2 stars.
It's 3.5 from me.
It's not a comforting way to run the world.
I still didn't get used to this rating system.
Than lying myself.
And now here's Mr. Goose with the news.
Ooh, Mr. Goose. Mr. Goose.
BioWare Austin has announced it has ceased development on their online RPG, Shadow Realms. The studio's general manager, Jeff Hoffman, didn't provide any specific reason for the game's cancellation, except to say that there are other projects within BioWare that need to be worked on. Their main focus will now be on expanding Star Wars The Old Republic, as well as assisting with further Dragon Age Inquisition DLC and the new Mass Effect. Legal representatives from Fallout's publisher Bethesda Softworks have issued a cease and desist letter to indie studio Xreal, demanding they change the name of their game Fortress Fallout due to the use of the word Fallout. Xreal has
Are we
agreed to change
still
the name
on
of
this
the game
news
to
report? This
avoid
news report was
legal battle with the publisher,
last
and has
week, I
changed the
think.
online community to help find a new name. Perhaps
Or it was on Good Game Pocket, I don't remember.
Fortress Scrolls can have those for free. The United States trademark for Sony's never-endingly in development project, The
Are you
Last
seriously
Guardian,
going to ask me
has
that
been
question?
The United States Patent and Trademark Office sent
Wow.
Sony a notice last year informing them the trademark needed to be extended, but after failing to do so, the trademark was cancelled. Sony has since confirmed that the game is still in development. And now over to esports.
Don't even know what that means.
Australian Counter-Strike Go team Vox Emina qualified for the ESL 1 Katowice Championship in Poland. Vox Emina took down Danish heavyweights Dignitas 16 games to 13 in the qualifiers, earning themselves a spot in the finals to be held in March.
Look at that celebration.
But back on home soil, the Aussies continue to dominate, with 3 Australian teams qualifying for the Global Call of Duty Championships. Exile 5 T1, Integral Nation and Plantronics Mindfreak, formerly Team Immunity, came in as the top 3 teams at the Asia Pacific Regional Final held in Sydney. They will all now move on to compete in Los Angeles in March amongst 32 other teams, battling it out for a prize pool of $1 million. And that's all for this week.
Thanks, Goose. It's the dawn of the Dark Ages. The hordes are at the gate, and the sun is well and truly setting on the Roman Empire. It's Total War Attila.
I've enjoyed learning about Rome. So that obviously means Attila the Hun. It's called Total War Attila.
I have seen the end of days. Years from now, we will say, here began the fall of Rome.
The Total War series continues its march through history, and this time Attila and his hordes of Huns are the cover boys.
I have to admit, Barjo, that while I'd obviously heard of Attila the Hun, I didn't know a whole lot about who he was and what he did exactly. So I was quite excited to jump into this.
I know how you feel, Hex.
This period history was all about.
Yeah, the Total War games are pretty good history teachers, actually. If you've never played one in the series, it's basically a mash of turn-based and real-time strategy.
There's a huge campaign map where you manage your empire and plan out your grand ambition. And when armies clash, you can go down onto the field to direct thousands of troops in battle.
Total War games are always scrappy affairs. You start off with all your units in neat little rows, hoping your brave soldiers will hold the line till the very end. But before long, those lines start to crumble under the weight of flanking cavalry, raining arrows, and 1,000 swords clashing.
Yeah, it's all about positioning, isn't it? Holding the high ground or pulling off some clever flanking maneuvers makes all the difference. To the point where a well-placed and cleverly commanded force can even take on armies well over twice their size.
I love those moments, Hex, where you think you have no chance, but then some smart decisions and maybe a bit of luck, and you can manage to pull off a win.
The enemy are broken. They turn and run.
They're just such great fist pump moments.
Yeah, but then so
Careful,
much rides
Donald.
on just making sure your men don't freak out and run away, doesn't it? Morale is a huge factor in any battle, since your men will only fight as long as their morale holds out. As they suffer losses, get flanked, or find their general has been slaughtered, they start to crack and eventually give up. It's just so frustrating sometimes when you watch your men turn tail and run. Just stand and fight to the last man, you cowards!
Yeah, that's totally gonna happen. Oh, it is a
I
shameful
think this is some of
display.
the best action that we've seen from the series. It's just got that scissors, paper, rock strategy that still works so well. Where melee beats spears, spear beats cavalry, cavalry beat melee, while those archers and artillery just rain down
I think the way Fire Emblem describes it is better.
And they haven't messed with that formula too much. It's just a few little tweaks that help it all flow a bit better. Units now take longer for their morale to break, giving you valuable seconds to evaluate the situation and implement new strategies.
Units are now also more likely to regain their composure and be ready to charge back into battle so things don't tend to fall apart so quickly.
Our men are rallying. They're not done yet.
The AI also feels more responsive and willing to push their advantage. Give them an opening and they'll take it.
I also like that the siege battles aren't just capture the flag affairs now. Previously, if you could get into the town centre and hold it, you'd score an automatic victory. So one rogue unit could sneak around the side, get him behind the battle lines and win the day.
But now holding the town centre just gives you a big morale boost, which is still important, but at least it's not an auto fail.